Hello, I'm very aware that, that I've got no lighting. I've got windows with no blinds and it's just all washed out. So I've just came on and it looks ridiculous. But hello, right. I'm now running my camera off. I'm just about to tell you the most boring thing I've ever told you, but now I've started, I feel like I've got to in case anything happens. I'm running this off Glyphs giveaway of a battery. Usually my camera that is looking at me now, because that's what cameras do, is plugged into the mains, but I heard that was really bad for your camera and it's an expensive camera and it could do awful things to it. So I'm running off battery and I realised it had been running a long time and I just ran behind the camera, had a look, checked there was enough percentage in and legged it back and just got back on time. So there you go. There's an interesting story to start with. God blimey, how many have we lost? Right, so welcome to Real Magic Review. I'm finally in the new office that I've been going on about. It's the most boring thing again in the world. It just doesn't get any better, does it? Just doesn't get any better. But I feel like I've got to explain bad lighting and I've got to explain possible technical difficulties because I'm not even going to tell you that. That's even more boring. So we are going to do a couple of comments because I did the Glyphs thing. You asked me stuff on here. I'm going to try to talk at a more relaxed level because I've got a bad throat and I've had a bad throat for a couple of days. It's all dry and horrible. So we've got the live session, Gary, haven't we, after this, and I've got to make sure I keep it together. So I'm going to try and talk at a normal level and use what microphones are used for, and that's having you not have to shout and stuff. Darren, it's the first one you've been on. I'm so sorry. It's the most boring start of anything ever, but it will get better. Probably not. Gid, how you doing? I sent your Gideon won the last giveaway, which was the first class and Lux. So there you go. That should come today or probably tomorrow actually. And anything else? Yes. Man of magic. Need me some quantum in my life, and I don't mean Scott Bakula. Bakula, yeah, Quantum Leap, what a classic. It's meant to be a movie coming out. Oh, I'm really not happy with this being washed out like this. Hang on, I'm going to try and remedy it in some way. Let's have a look, see if I can turn the brightness down a bit. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So, Quantum Deck giveaway. First of all, I'll do the things, and then what will happen is I'll totally forget about it, and then say goodbye, get loads of messages saying you forgot the giveaway, and annoy everyone. So when I start tying things up, do feel free to say oi, but I'll do it at the end to keep you here so you can listen to my nonsense over the next 10 minutes or so. I haven't posted loads of reviews, so I'm going to put the but the Glyphs thing has highlighted a couple of things that I'm interested in talking about. So what I think I might do next week is talk about exposure. It's a really interesting subject for me now because my thoughts are changing a little bit on it, and it might be a little bit controversial, and not in a bad way. But I don't know why I said that. It could be in a bad way if you don't agree with me. But no, I'm getting slightly different views on it now, and I think it will be a good, healthy discussion to have, and then we could all be very honest and judgment-free. And that'll be sort of to do with the giveaway as well. So we'll link to the session, Tom. Yeah, I'll do that. Email me, and Tom, and I shall reply to your email after this. I'll send you a link to the live session tonight, which was cut short last week. We were doing the live session, and it was cut short by right in the middle of it, the death of Queen Elizabeth. Which was very sad, and I got terribly flustered and I didn't really know what to do or say, so I just stopped the session and had to lie down. So that was that. Looking fine here, good, thanks. I think it's better now. That light is moving across, which is going to upset me. If I just put my hand there, I'm giving it, leave it there for a bit. Comments on, first of all, we got a couple of comments on the close-up mats, which was important. I did a close-up mat thing from my house and the giveaway. No, I didn't. And the follow-up, that's what I was meant to say. Watch the shorts. I'm doing some YouTube shorts now, a minute long, so that's quite good, isn't it? You can watch some of them. Logo looks, yeah. So I will just another little after a week of using the close-up mat. But I'll take them off, Steve. It don't work at that level. Which it was Martin Quigley made. After a week of using it, I absolutely love that close-up mat. I don't know what it is about it. I just really like it. I like the feel of it. I love shuffling on it. It's really nice. I love all my lovely posh close-up mats, but that's just, yeah, I think it's a size as well. You just sort of put it down, it's kind of there. So like everything is, if you put it in front of you, it's just kind of there, isn't it? So that makes, yeah, pretty much no sense whatsoever. But we're all used to that, aren't we? So it looks like logo looks great. Fabric didn't look very tight, perhaps just needs a settling out of packaging. And Martin did answer that. That was Chris that said that. No, when it arrived, it had a few creases in it. I have had that from mats before, and it's totally gone now. Everything's absolutely within like an hour. Poster in the fireplace looks cool. What was the show for? That was my one-man show, The Magic of Now, Maxi Max. Begum Brothers, wow. I just wanted to ask, how can we participate in the quantum? I love when it says Begum Bros. Do you say Bros or Brothers? Because it's Begum Bros, his name on here, but you don't call the band Bros Brothers, do you? You don't say I was a Brothers fan, which I wasn't. I hasten to add, but it is a great documentary on Netflix. You're the reason, the one reason, Begum Bros or Begum Bros, oh, this game, that I do giveaways now, because you were so. What shall I say? Directive's not the word. Resilient isn't the word. Persistent, in a good way. That I thought, I've got to. I could not. You kept reminding me because I wanted to do them, and you were just like, when you doing it, when you doing it, and you're the reason I'm doing them now. So it just shows, and that's not an insult at all. It's great. And that's it. And those are the questions about the close-up mats, about the crease and things like that. Totally fine. So. I'm going to go to the first. Remember we did the Lux thing, and the Lux giveaway was asking me a question. I'm going to start working through those questions if we run out of stuff here. So it gives me a bit of content, doesn't it? See what I did there? Let's have a look at this one. On plot twist, I don't think there was. I did. Oh, it's not scrolling. Yeah, it is. I did have a look at the. Not many people are watching the tricks. I don't know why. Because I think they're great, but it's quite good to watch them, and they're little reviews on the separate tricks. So I did Plot Twist by Harapan Ong and a few of the Harapan's tricks, and I thought I'd then sort of review the tricks a little bit. I did choose ones that were quite similar with counts. I don't know why I did that. And I did have some other ones I recorded, but I weren't happy with them. So it got my attention with a false count. I was never satisfied performing the packet trick NFW, no way, and never came up with an adequate solution. I think it's an interesting thing with false counts, and when I learned Peter Pelican's turn, it has these 3 counts in a row, which are pretty much the same counts, and they always feel iffy. But then when I see people performing them, even if they're not perfectly done, it does kind of fly a bit depending on how you. So I think when you do the counts, they feel worse than they actually are when you perform them. I don't think that many lay people, unless you do it really badly, can tell the difference, because that 2 as 4 count does feel and look different than an Elmsley count, but I think to lay people's eyes it doesn't really, because they're following the face up and face down cards, they're looking at the backs of the cards, they're not really following and especially if you keep that rhythm, so you've got to keep it well. And Mexi said new office looks a lot like the old one, really. Yeah, the new office is all about behind the camera. And I'm terribly lazy. And the count in there, the 2 as 4, Paul says he learned it as the Martinez count, which is great. I love it when people give me bits of stuff like that. But, so let's go on to Glyphs. Again, I only posted this yesterday, so I think there's going to be a lot more on this. Now, if you don't know, Glyphs is a high price item. It is, and he said it's totally cool to say this. Oh, the light. It's totally cool to say this. It's a thermal printer as well as the app and things like that, and other stuff. So the whole system, you know, it's $900 or something like that. So it's a big thing, but it's good. And if you're doing it on stage, I do think those sort of costs are what you kind of pay for that sort of thing. You don't want these things in the hands of everybody, I don't think, because then everybody finds out about them, which is why I didn't put it on my non-magicians Facebook page like I do some of my reviews, because no non-magicians watch them anyway, they're nearly all magicians. But this one I feel a bit sort of precious about, as I did with wiki tests and things like that, and all apps actually. Joel says the creator of Glyphs knows performing mentalism at the highest level, so he understands how to really make this tool work the best way possible. Steve, does the handwriting truly look handwritten? This is a really good question. With Sharpie to someone who examines it, or does it look like handwriting that was generated by a printer? So when you, and I've done this with the handwriting thing, you've got this, yes, thermal printing paper, but you're kind of, you're ripping a bit of paper and making it look not like, it just looks like a bit of paper. And all the other things you add on to it cancel out, I think, that kind of method. So the first bit is not, which I didn't do in my performance of it with the receipts, but I did something kind of similar. You can get a piece of paper out first, pretend to write on it, screw it up, put it there so it's there before the trick happens. And they're convinced of it. So and in their mind, they do the thing, you open that bit of paper that was there before the trick happened and it's written on there. So it kind of, the idea of kind of looking at writing really closely to see if it doesn't really, I've never experienced that really, that thing of they open it, they read it, they're just amazed it says what it says, especially if you do it with things like Wikitest, which again, I'm going to talk about in a second, because someone has asked about the notes and things like that. So you've got so many layers of cancelling this out. And they don't have to be complicated. So my way of doing it, because I wanted to go over the road and do it without having to go and make loads of stuff and sorting loads of stuff out, was to have receipts in my bag. So when I pulled the receipts out, which is just there, I pull these receipts out, and people say, why would you be carrying around receipts? I don't know, because I'm doing my tax, and I'll probably script that in or something. Pull them out, and I'm just going to make sure, and just kind of look through them, and it's right in the middle there. So, and it's such a simple thing to do. It's just kind of, looking for it, and I had loads more. And I think that it almost feels a little bit like a card to wallet kind of thing, within stuff, and it adds, I think that adds a lot more to it. And aren't I very, very clever for thinking of that very, very quickly, probably about 3 minutes before I performed it. Because I was just going to get a receipt out. But of course there's loads of other ways of doing it. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's not obvious actually. You look at it, it looks pretty good. If you know it, you'll see it, and you'll kind of do that. You'll be biased, you've got the confirmation bias, so you'll see that, it doesn't look, but I don't think so. I mean, but most people that know me know that I've got a writing of a 4-year-old, so they'd look at it and go, yeah, I know you can't write like that. So I've got to be really careful about that. So Mustafa says, thanks for a detailed review. It was very long, it was very detailed, but I think, again, when you're talking about that sort of money, you've got to kind of be as detailed as you can, and I didn't even cover half of it. So any questions, go over it. No, you haven't missed it. I did talk about, bacon bros in a lovely way. So, but don't worry, the giveaway's happening. I should just give it you anyway. I should just, how do you win it? I'll just give it to you. All of them. Powerful bit of, and Gary says a powerful bit of kit, but way more than my product will allow. This is about Glyphs. A demo for this, no, we're going to get on to, someone got a bit, what should I call it? A bit shirty. Someone got a shirty. Someone didn't like my review. We'll talk about that in a second. Demo for this review is not easy. Honouring the creator not to broadcast a secret is a razor line. Further watching a printer spool, not that riveting, because someone had said basically you should show it. No, it isn't riveting, no need to show it. The review is about, what I do show is the dimensions of it. The review is about the level of ease of use, yes, possible uses, we watch for your opinion on quality. Then make judgments over how that bit of magic might fit our presentation style. The goal is not having magic in dresser drawers. Thanks, don't change your reviewing structure. Thank you, Tom. And Tom's written that for a reason. And this is a good one from Joe, as is all of them. Steve, as far as the guy who bought the milk, if you haven't watched it, after this, watch the short and the performance of this, which is really edited down. I did do quite a lot more talking. Funny that, isn't it? Which was not needed, but I was a bit nervous and all that. So Steve, as far as the guy who bought milk for £3.35, so I used to imagine going to a shop up the road, KTM, which is a real shop. You go in, you buy something, basically what was the total of it, and the receipt in my receipts matched the total, a proper KTM receipt. Steve, as far as the guy bought the milk for £3.35, what was the input method? If it's your notes, what's the reason you asked them to type it in? That's my only reluctance. The believable excuse to get them to type. This is a really interesting one, and I feel really weird doing it. So with most of these type of acts, when you're getting information externally from something else, or that information is doing something else, or going somewhere else, or turning into a receipt or whatever, you have to get it to that thing. And what feels best clearly is that no phones get out, nothing, all that, or it happens on their phone, or in that way. There are plenty of ways with this to do that with the API. And if you don't know, like I didn't long ago, API just means that's a system, really. I'm probably wrong about that, but it's the way apps are linked. So if you want to use this with Wikitest, so I did the thing where I did Wikitest, you know, get your phone out. My phone wasn't anywhere to be seen, didn't even come into play. Get your phone out, search for someone on Wikipedia. They searched for the thing on Wikipedia, went through the thing, and the thing they searched for on their phone on Wikipedia was printed out on a piece of paper, handwritten on the table beforehand. That was the effect. My phone wasn't involved. But of course, you need Wikitest for that. There are other apps that you can do the same thing with, including new stuff as Rainmat, all that kind of send whatever that is to that, but they're all going to cost you extra money. With this, there are ways, again, of not doing it on their phone, but making it more kind of stealthy. But to be honest, the guy, his memory of it is the whole thing about being there, and if his mind isn't going towards printers or anything like that. So no, it's not ideal. But don't forget, and this is something I'm really coming to terms with now, writes everything on their notes on their phone. So to kind of get your phone out last minute and go, it's a number, especially with a number, just write it down on here so we don't forget it, show everybody. And it feels very natural. I did it in a really unnatural way because I was quite nervous, which I did edit out, which I sort of got my phone out way early, and I was holding it through the whole thing, so I couldn't do that thing of, oh, let's write this down. You can do, I haven't got a pen, I'll tell you what, I'll write it in my notes, all that kind of stuff is totally fine. So it feels weird when you do it, but when you've done it, it kind of doesn't. And you can also, and again, I know it costs money, is use it with things like Digital Force Bag when you're inputting it without them knowing it. So using your phone for something else, that's quite a good thing as well. So you're using it for something else, maybe to take a selfie, and go, before this, I want you to memorize this, and you're inputting stuff in that. So you take a selfie with your phone, send it to them, and within that time you're inputting the method. So there's lots and lots of different ways of doing it. And it feels kind of better than it should do. I'm going to check my battery, because I've not done this with a battery before. I want to check it's not like 1%, because I'll panic. No, 81%. I'm panicking for literally no reason. So yeah, it's a great question. It feels icky, kind of like writing anything on a bit of paper when you tear it up and then tell them what it is, but it always just works. Right, Indrid Cold. You are putting this on social media and asking not to share. So at the beginning of it, I said, if you're going to share it, please don't share it on a normal social media channel, share it on a Magicians Only channel. Now I see this as, I'll read the thing first. You're putting this on social media and asking not to share. Why do you think social media are invented for? Sorry, compared to with other channels that review this piece, you talk a lot and there is no demonstration nor unboxing or nothing. Nothing. I switched it off after 2 minutes. Well, could have done an unboxing and a demonstration after 2 minutes, couldn't I? I switched it off after 2 minutes. Put some variation and structure into your videos and capture the more interested people. All right, so I know some of that. So I know I talk a lot, and that's you know, you got to put up with that, because it's never going to change. It might get better, but it'll never go away. First on, I see this as a magician's own. If you're watching this and you're not a magician and you've been watching me waffle on about magic, then you deserve to know everything. Well done, congratulations. That is your prize for putting up with that, and enjoy it. I didn't put it on my social media. All of the performances that weren't on magicians' pages, even on this page, I called it a shopping coincidence. Good, isn't it? Sure, been used many times before, and I didn't call it Glyphs because I didn't want someone watching that and going, "Oh, it's called Glyphs," googling it, finding Glyphs and realizing what it was. So I didn't tag it, I didn't do any of that stuff. So I'm very, very careful about it. Nobody is going to see a thing called Glyphs, know what it is, unless they've done it on a normal social media thing. Start watching me waffle on and get to the point where they understand, you know, 10 minutes in, that I talk about it being a princess, same as this. So that's my thinking there. And probably because you watched 2 minutes, you didn't get that bit. compared to your channel reviews, Pete, you talk a lot and there is no demonstration or unboxing. The demonstration was a separate video. I'm not going to be unboxing a little printer and showing you an app. I'm sorry, it doesn't need to be done. I showed you the dimensions. It's like a film review, all right? It's like saying, for me, it's like going, oh, you review a film, but you haven't told us what happens at the end. You haven't told us the whole story. And you haven't told me what happens after half an hour. And you haven't told me this and what happened. You know, a film review is about, is it good? Are you going to enjoy it? Did I enjoy it? And, you know, what kind of genre is it? And how does it make you feel, etc. And I think that's exactly what a Magic review should be. It is not a tutorial. If you like the effect, I've told you the reality of performing it. I've shown you performing it. Then you can decide to buy it or not. If you go to a dealer, they're not going to tell you much more than that unless you're really, really kind of showing that you probably are going to buy it. They're not going to, well, maybe they will show you, and maybe, you know, I could have, but there's just no point. And if you want to see it, watch the other ones. So if you switched off after 2 minutes, I'm sorry, but after that, it was so awesome. It was amazing. After 2 minutes, it just went nuts in here. We were partying. I'm going to try and move. I've got a little bit of, I'm going to try and move some to get rid of that light. Oh no. You might hear a big bang in a minute. I've got a big board. Oh, I can't do it. And that's, oh God. No, you'll have to put up with it. The light's going to have to stay. It's terribly amateurish, isn't it? What if I go over here? That'll be good. Right, so that's that. And then other people came in. Curious that they know the content of the video despite switching off after 2 minutes. My comment was aimed at the creator of this video, not you. Never heard of horizontal scrolling. I do content creation since HTML and CSS. Yeah, but I guess you are a so-called expert. Curious how people are quick to comment without understanding. So you're absolutely right. To have a really good opinion of a Magic review channel, you do need your HTML and your sorry. Here we go. Gary's quite funny. Well done for drawing such conclusions after 2 minutes. It took me hours before I realised it. I'm only kidding, Steve. You're a star. Thanks. And he says, apologies for my opinion. I forgot it's forbidden to have one of these days, even if it's a professional one. Sorry to get confused between having a professional opinion, which is forbidden these days, and crying. Right. And I'm totally fine. You're absolutely fine. An opinion is completely justified, and having feedback that you don't like the thing is completely justified. I think probably, Indrid Cold, it's just it was just a bit kind of, you know, you're asking for social media and put some it was just a bit kind of directive. It could have been nice. You could have said something like, Steve, you're awesome. But maybe you could, no, I'm joking. I don't mind, you're absolutely, but it causes a good discussion, doesn't it? And that's what we do. So that's that. Right, here we go. Let's go to the, I'm just looking at your comments. All right, love tech news. I think that, right, I don't want to miss anything. So, hi Stefan, how you doing? Tom, nice to see you. Wondering what you think about that close-up map versus the Vorst & Bosch ones. They're very different, right? So the Vorst & Bosch one, I wonder if this works. This might not work. I can't remember if I set it up right. Yeah, my Vorst & Bosch one is lovely. I love it. But it's a big chunky thing, and it's great to have as a kind of permanent thing. When I'm at home, I don't have this at home because it's kind of, you know, it's the kitchen table and there's food there and stuff like that. So I think it's, oh look, I'm upside down. That's good, isn't it? Brilliant. So that's that anyway. So it's a big chunky thing. It's brilliant. I love it. I don't think it's about quality. I think it's just about different things, and they're very, very expensive. So the Vorst & Bosch ones, I think, for like the way they're made and stitched and upholstered, yes, they probably have it on that kind of thing because they're upholsterers. You know, they've upholstered for royalty, those guys. So it's a different thing. This is a close-up map with a lower price structure that's more kind of carry around the bull. I mean, it doesn't roll up, but it's, you know, you don't always want, and to be honest, if I was sent that to review, I was sent 3 of them, I couldn't have afforded to buy 3 of them. So it's a different thing, I think. Will you include glyphs in the giveaway? No, I've finished work early for this, so looking forward to some structure and variation, maybe an unboxing or something for please viewers. All right, I'll do an unboxing for you. Boom, and I know I'm still upside down, but that's the kind of crazy way I roll. I invested in Minted from your review, love it. Oh, you did you? Do you like it? Good. I'm glad you do. Quick serious question about glyphs. Is there an alternative on the market for our sad Android users? I don't know. Now, I did look at the French twins with, oh, they're going to be annoyed at me now. What's it called? The French twins one. It's great, but I didn't have the printer to use with it. I couldn't use it. Yeah, I had to buy a special one, and I wasn't going to do that because if I start buying stuff, I'll have to sell my house to review. But they are working on it where it's going to be more, you know, with this you get it all with it. And so it was quite good. It's a different thing. It's very kind of different, had a different feel to it. But I think that might be Android as well. What's it called? I'm gonna have to. You're gonna see me googling something now, which is I know the most boring thing in the world. If I go into my apps, oh, I don't know what it's called. Someone say it on here. French Twins app that does a similar thing, but you're a bit long to move away from the light. Yeah, get an iPhone, Gary. Says, hey, I've had an idea. Rather than selecting a winner from comments, can you just choose a winner from the live chat? How's that? No, I can't, because I want more viewers to watch it afterwards. Because giving things away is a sneaky way to get views. It's all very, very sneaky, isn't it? No, no, I'm going to do that because then I can come back to your. Because I want comments like I did last time that I can then go and kind of use as content, so I don't have to think of stuff. I'm terribly, terribly lazy. And a good question, Pete. Yeah, I mean, it is. If I was an Android user, it would be annoying because there is so much good stuff for iPhones. So, and I like Android phones. I think they're great. But actually, the one reason why I probably wouldn't go over is because of the apps. How do you think when you started Magic? Like when you get into this Magic stuff? I got into Magic at about the age of 19. I was old. So yeah, when I kind of went to Australia and then got out of it, so I started performing Magic a lot later. So I didn't like Magic sets that much when I was a kid. I found them all a bit confusing, except the one with the 10p when you put them in and it vanishes. That was the only one I did. You talk a lot, I know, Gillian, I do. We Love Rambling from Brulafu, thank you very much. Favourite trick so far? Oh, there's loads of them. I won't go into that now, but I will do it on another one. A film review, yeah. You're about to 8k subs, dude. Yeah, imagine, I couldn't imagine getting 10,000 ever. And now I'm kind of going, oh, maybe I can. So that'd be good, wouldn't it? But I'm very happy with 8,000. What are these other messages popping up? No film review, gimmicks and trick review. You're all having an argument. Lighting looks fine for us, thanks. It's just if it gets really sunny, I'll add it. This just goes, well, I look like I'm in one of those 1970s film about a nuclear war where everybody gets whited out. Here come the big clouds, hide the sun. Looks all good here. Good. Steve, you're awesome. Yay, thanks. If you can keep one magic book for all the books you got, which one would you suggest? I love Chris Kenner's Totally Out of Control, but for variety, I think Tarbell. No, not Tarbell. Even that's great. I suppose the first one I got was a Michael Almar book of magic, and it was so good. I'm trying to get some inspiration by looking at them. I don't know. I'll have to answer that. Someone answer me in the other thing as well. We'll do that. How's the mat for Keaton pet hair? Yeah, you've got a big pet hair problem, haven't you, Gary, with your close-up match? It's all right. It's not. I've got a velvet one, so if you get your cat on it, you'll probably be all right. Just lots of lovely thanks. Picked up socks from your review from Brulafu. Performed it out and about last weekend to a group of people, one of which was really into socks. How brilliant. It went down a storm. It's such a great trick, isn't it? It's a great kicker, that. I love it. Please do a giveaway close-up match. I ain't got enough. What I'll do is now I'm doing more giveaways. I can actually get older people and say, look, do you want me to do a giveaway of one of your products? And because I know Luch has agreed that we'll give away one of his shirts. The other one that I got, Slight Artist, that I still wear. So you can I can do that and get people to actually agree to do it, which would be nice. Cheeky sneaky, please do give away. I've done that. Where are you reading? I don't understand. What are you reading? Where am I? Am I in Reading? Ali, I'm not trying to be funny. I thought you said, where are you reading, as in the place? Or what are you reading? Oh, where am I reading? Got ya. So the camera's there, and it's a big camera. It's not a webcam, and the screen is here. So I'm reading all your comments there. Yeah. So I know it's a bit weird because I should be looking at the camera, wouldn't I? But then I can't see the comments. So you just basically look at me looking at the screen. But there you go. Doesn't Yamaranda have a tool like Glyphs? Sorry, I haven't watched the review yet. Or doesn't that support Android? Glyphs, Yamaranda's one. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a similar thing. I don't know the workings of it. I don't know much about it. I heard it's great, but yeah, I'd be very interested. It might be, it probably is, but I don't know. I can't really say much about it. I didn't look into it. I know that it does a thing that is similar. Yeah, no worries, Ali. No, I totally know what you're saying now. And I'm very conscious, by the way, but it's it's a bit like that. I just read the content giveaway. Yeah, doing it in a minute. Sorry, yeah. So you got a really good chance of winning these things because I do it at the end, and there's hardly anybody going to be left, is there? So I think most people have watched half this and kind of had enough. Legacy system, that's the one. So sorry, I think Ali's asking about where were you reading the other comments about only making 2 minutes? Ah, right, okay. Yeah, I'm reading them off of the past comments. So what I do in these shows is go back to comments that have been made or questions that have been commented under the old video. So that one was under the Glyphs review, and answer those questions. Right. Would I review Telepathic Jokers by Ali Asmore? I reckon that's probably you, Ali. Well, do you know what I'm not taking at the moment, just because I just haven't got the time, is downloads of tricks. I did do Harapans because that was it had like 24 tricks on it. But a lot of people are sending me great tricks, but they're sort of filmed on their phone in their house, and I understand it, but I get so many, I just can't do them. And I'd love to just help everybody out and do every review I get sent. But I have a huge box of stuff over there that I'm not going to get through. And I have to sort of marry that thing of doing independent stuff, which I did. You know, I did No Quarters thing today. It's not going to be like 20,000 people are going to, nobody's heard of it. A lot of people haven't heard of it because it's not available anywhere other than from him. But I wanted to do that because I was interested in it, and I thought it would start a big conversation. And I do. I mean, you feel free to share it with me, but I can't promise I'll get to it, especially if it's a one trick quick download. And I love one trick downloads. I'll probably love it, and if it's great, I'll give it a mention. But a full review may or may not happen, so I can't promise you that. Love to be Ali, we can't. Right, quantum date review. Oh, it's all gone weird. Oh, right. Craig Petty, I did get in contact with Craig and says, all right, I have to do a giveaway. He said, absolutely. So this, yeah, of course I'll take a look. I'd love to take a look at it, as long as it's in the 3-hour download, because I can't bear it. What I'd like you to do, I'm going to do a video next week, or maybe the week after. I'm not making any promises, because I might have a gig, but I'll let you know anyway, so make sure you hit the little bell icon on the notifications when you've subscribed. Beg and Bryce's right. You are going to write a comment, not now, not on this live one, but when the video is up, so I know, and so it'll be there permanently. And I want you to just a couple of lines. There's no right or wrong with this, and I am going to be drawing these out completely randomly, so it's not like the best one, of just your views on exposure, on internet exposure of magic tricks, whatever that means to you. So do you think nothing at all should be exposed, nothing can be completely under it, or do you accept that it's happening and we've got to approach that in some way? Does it make you angry? Are you okay with it? And there's no judgment on this. You're never going to be judged for an act. And everybody that comes in and judges people, just don't, because you're allowed an opinion. And I was joking before, of course, you know, the guy that said about Glyphs completely allowed the opinion. Actually, I like it because it gives us something to joke about. Okay, so beg and brother, and so exposure meaning people giving away magic tricks. So if I was to get up now and show you how to do a magic trick and teach the whole thing, do you think that's okay? And you can put just that if you want, or have you got mixed feelings about it? Or do you just completely disagree with it? So exposing magic, how to do magic tricks on the internet, or should it just be behind, you know, it should be a paid thing and everybody should pay? Because I think I've probably got a slightly different take on it than a lot of people, and one that I had even a year ago. So yeah, it'd be an interesting one. But just look, Begging Brother, if you kind of write something and you didn't quite understand it in the comments after this, you're still going to get put in the draw, okay? Because it got to get a random thing to you know, to do. So do that. I better change my profile from Indra Kill to my real name if I want that giveaway. Yeah. That's very funny, Gary. Understood. Great. Okay. So, right, that's 35 minutes. Well done, everybody. You deserve, and Gary, you've got another hour of it covered up in 25 minutes. So well done. Thanks very much. Everybody after this, could you please go and have a look at onlinemagic.co? That'll be lovely. And then by the time you've done that, this will be up on the channel and you can put your comment under for the quantum deck giveaway. Thanks very much. I didn't do any of the other questions that were on the other one, but I will do that soon. Thanks. Brulafi, yeah, scene 25. See you later, everyone. Take care. Bye.